All right, YouTube. Earlier there was an exchange between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Advantaged Trump for a number of reasons. I'll try to analyze that a little bit. But anyway, what essentially happened is Hillary Clinton told him, tweeted at Donald Trump, delete your account. Now, of course, she said that when you say such things on Twitter, it's a form of bullying. It's gutter politics. It's a smear campaign. It's petulant. It looks like you're a whining baby. She's levied all this criticism at Trump when he does things like she did to him, which is why there's a problem here. She doesn't apparently understand this. Unfortunately, her fans do not expect her to attack others on social media. Trump's do. He doesn't lose anything by doing this. She potentially does because she's casting herself as adult in the room, as though she was mature herself and wasn't constantly whining about how every critic's part of a vast right-wing conspiracy against her. Trump fired back, and I'll read you his tweet. How long did it take your staff of 823 people to think that up, and where are your 33,000 emails that you deleted? Now, he does two things here. It's quite simple to see what he's doing. First and foremost, he challenges the concept that Hillary's even tech literate, which forces people, at least subconsciously and most of us consciously, to remember the fact that in previous tweets and postings on Facebook and video messages that she's done and so forth, she's looked out of touch with the modern crowd online. Because now you have social media, instant gratification, memetics, and things like that in play that you didn't have when her husband was running back in the 90s. Back then, the internet was far more spare. A lot of it was basically just plain text. There was Drudge, and Drudge still looks, by the way, exactly as it did back then. Some IRCs, and that's basically it when they were running for re-election. ICQ, I think, was 94. I think that was the re-election period. Certainly not the first election. But anyway, Hillary Clinton doesn't look tech literate, and she's being called out for it here. Now, there are 159,000 retweets of Trump's fighting back against her original tweet. So his firing back certainly is getting quite a bit of attention. And then what does he do? He mentions her emails because it relates to the tech world. See, he's trying to use the double message here to cause people to think about Hillary in connection with technology in general, because what comes into your mind first? Oh, the email scandal. That's right. Now, again, I don't think that the email scandal itself has any relevance to the campaign at all, because I don't expect she'll be indicted. She'd get a slap on the wrist even if they did. It wouldn't really affect her. Obama would protect her. Loretta Lynch is not going to go after someone who she's, probably banging on the side or something anyway. They probably have a three-way with Huma Abedin every night. But at the same time, it does matter what people perceive about it. Now, Hillary Clinton's unfavorability and her untrustworthiness go hand in hand. The problem is it's going to be a very uphill climb for her to change that. All Trump has to do is make his opponent look worse than he is. The thing being, all of his solid supporters, which is an amount of the electorate at least almost as large as those that back Hillary, don't care if he attacks people on social media. They don't give a fuck. They really don't care. They find it funny in many cases. In fact, it's almost endearing to many of these people. It makes him look more personable. Hillary Clinton, though, doesn't get personability here because what did Trump say? Oh, your staff tweeted this out. How long did it take them to think it up? Well, it's genius. It's a masterstroke. This is exactly how he destroyed Jeb. It's exactly how he destroyed Cruz. He destroyed, Christie, of course, destroyed Rubio, so I guess that doesn't count. But Hillary Clinton's not going to be destroying anybody on social media because I don't even think she operates her own Twitter. I don't think she's capable of figuring out how it works. I don't think she could upload a YouTube video. I don't think she would know how to like something on Facebook. When I think of Hillary Clinton in terms of technology, honestly, the vision that comes into my head is her typing away at a typewriter and the computer's over in the corner gathering dust as it's like a 95 or something because she hasn't updated it since then because she doesn't know how to use it. Or she gets some virus, and I just picture her sitting there throwing her hands up in the air and screaming and wailing for Huma Abedin to come and get the antivirus running or something like that. Or Googling PC-matic or something like that. That's honestly what I have in my head. But when I think of Trump in terms of technology, and this is psychological, I mean, clearly it is. It's a form of propaganda. to be sure, because I don't have any way to know if he actually does this. I think of him sitting there thinking of things like this and dictating it to his secretary sitting next to him, and he's cracking a big smile because he knows it'll be effective, and he's laughing at his opponents when he does these things. You could see a little bit of a smile trying to intrude in on his otherwise generally somber appearance at the debates when he thought of something witty to say and then proceeded to say it after one of his opponents stepped in it. You could see him doing this with Rubio and Cruz on a fairly regular basis. It did work, and I believe that it will continue to work. But keep in mind, perception means more than reality when you're dealing with a political campaign. Trump is a master of projecting a perception of himself upon people to get them to believe in it. Hillary Clinton's not. Most people, including many supporters of Hillary, who simply, they don't like Trump, they think he's racist, they think he's a bigot, they think he's out of touch, they think he'd start a nuclear war or something. But even they realize Hillary Clinton is a chronic liar and that she's untrustworthy. Most of her fans, thus, cannot really be counted as hardened support. That's why I think that it makes sense for him to not only continue the attacks on social media, but to target those blue states that could turn red, even if there's a 1 in a million chance he pulls it off. It's still worth it. The payoff is great. The risk isn't that high because he's already evened things out in the Rust Belt. He just has to go swing through there for a couple of weeks, and he'll have Pennsylvania. He'll have Michigan. He'll hold Ohio and Indiana. He can go grab Virginia potentially. He doesn't have to really worry in those regions. I don't think he should go after Minnesota or Wisconsin. I think they're a little bit further gone. Iowa, definitely. As far as California, yeah, he should campaign there for a month. And he should do the same in New York. Before, in the beginning of November or at the end of October, he should go to New York and he should hold the most God almighty enormous rally in the history of New York City, replete with clowns and fireworks and hula girls and everything else, and play it up so much, amp it up so much, spend so much money on it, that every eye in the world is upon that venue. And he will win New York City or come close enough so that New York turns red. He doesn't even need California if that happens. It would cripple Hillary Clinton. He is capable of doing that. Don't underestimate his abilities in New York State or New Jersey or Connecticut. He's within single digits in Connecticut. When's the last time a Republican had that kind of very small disadvantage in a state that's gone blue for how many elections now? So heavily, I think Obama won it by more than 20 points. So yeah, absolutely it makes sense for him to campaign in this way. It's obviously worked in the primaries. Why wouldn't it work now? Everyone already knows Trump is, oh, he's a bully, he's a loudmouth. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. With this sort of stuff, anytime he gets attacked, he reflects the attack back, and his opponent ends up taking more damage than he is. Look at it as being a sort of Pokemon battle. And he's got major resistance to the types of attack coming his way, and his enemies are too stupid to switch up strategies. That's about all. Peace out.